Good morning, students. Welcome to today's lesson on methods of teaching biology. This lesson is Unit 4, Session 1. Now, in Session 1, we are going to discuss about lesson forecast and its preliminaries. So, by the end of this session, you'll be able to develop a lesson forecast for the term. So, when the school begins or when school resumes, you have to develop your lesson forecast. Now, so this lesson forecast shows the various lessons that you, the teacher, you undertake in the term. So it is very important to develop a lesson forecast. So the lesson forecast for the term is also called scheme of work or weekly forecast. So for instance, before a lecturer will come and start a class, he will give the students the scheme of work for the semester. So you know what we'll do for week 1, week 2, week 3 to the 13th week. So that one is a lesson forecast. So a lesson forecast is a plan which organizes course content and the learning of important skills in the syllabus into a logical teaching order. I will show you a sample of lesson forecast as we move on. So we are saying that the scheme of work guide lesson planning, and also it notifies the teacher what comes next, whether you are on target to finish the course within the time available. So when you have a lesson forecast, it guides you, the teacher, to know how to plan your lesson, when to end, when to start the lesson, and then when to end it, which content to teach, which area to focus, and then how to evaluate your students. All these things are included in the lesson forecast. Now, format of scheme of work. So from here, you can see that we have teaching week, week ending, the topic, the subtopics, the reference, the TLM, and then the remarks. Okay, now the first column of the scheme of work deals with the teaching week for the term. The second column notifies you of the specific date for the week. So having noted the week and the date, you need to indicate the topic you'll be teaching during that week. So if the topic is broad and comes with subtopics, then you will need to indicate those subtopics. Now, since the scheme of work can be used by other teachers in the absence of the substantive teacher, so it is necessary that the teacher developing the scheme of work indicates books and other academic materials he would refer to in order to prepare lesson on the stated topic. Okay, so the next item to be noted in the scheme of work is the teaching and learning material that the teacher would want to use when teaching the stated topic. So this teaching material is very important if you may need to make arrangements for specific materials. And again, if your school does not have the material, you'll be able to solicit for some in any nearby school or on time. You have to prepare for that. And you can see that the last column of the scheme of work is the remarks column. And then most often than not, teachers fill this column at the end of the week to indicate if the plan was successfully implemented or there was some occurrences that hindered the successful implementation of the scheme. So now I've explained the format of scheme of work. So what we are going to do is that we will look at a table that will serve as an example. Now, this is the table I'm talking about. You can see the teaching week, and then the week ending, and then the topic. And then you can see the subtopics, the reference, the TLM. So the remarks is where the teacher will write whether the lesson was successful or not, or the lesson will be taught again or some kind of thing. So this one, you being student teachers, when you go to the field and you become professional teachers, when the term begins, you have to prepare your scheme of work for the term, and then you show it to your head of department. So you show it to your head of department, and then you explain if there are some lapses, he will guide you on how to draw the scheme of work. So you can see the scheme of work, that is the second term. This is what you are going to do in the second term. So, like I said, you show it to your biology HOD for confirmation. So when you do that, you're a good teacher. So we've learned a lot in this lesson. We've learned about how to prepare scheme of work, or you see lesson forecast for the term. So in reviewing what we've learned, I asked you students to develop a lesson forecast for one term of an academic year. So we are in 2023 now, and school has resumed. So you develop a lesson forecast for the first term. And I believe when you're able to do that, you've understood this session.